Have you ever felt a sudden, inexplicable dip in your energy after a meal you thought was healthy? Or perhaps you've noticed persistent aches and pains, or nagging digestive discomfort that just won't seem to go away, even when you're trying your absolute best to eat, right? It's a common experience, and one that can feel incredibly frustrating. For most of our lives, we're taught that all vegetables are universally good for us, and for the vast majority of our journey, that's largely been true. But here's a surprising truth: as we gracefully cross the age of 65, our bodies undergo subtle yet significant changes. What once nourished us perfectly might, surprisingly, start contributing to discomfort or even a noticeable decline in our overall vitality. It's not about these foods suddenly becoming bad, but rather about how our maturing systems interact with certain compounds in ways they never did before. Many of us are unknowingly consuming specific seemingly healthy vegetables that could be secretly contributing to things like chronic inflammation, persistent digestive distress, bothersome joint pain, or even that subtle but noticeable feeling of being less vibrant. In this conversation, we're going to gently uncover 7 common vegetables that, for seniors over 65, might be doing more harm than good, particularly if you're experiencing these symptoms. We'll explore precisely why they can be problematic for our wonderfully maturing bodies, and more importantly, what simple, actionable steps you can take. My hope is to empower you with knowledge, not to create fear, but to help you feel your absolute best. Stay with me until the very end, because I promise there's a truly surprising truth about these foods that could completely change how you approach your daily meals, leading to a profound and lasting improvement in your health and comfort. Let's dive right into the first category of vegetables you might want to reconsider, especially if you've been experiencing some unwanted digestive surprises. We're talking about the cruciferous family. Think cabbage, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and cauliflower. These are often lauded as nutritional powerhouses, and they certainly are, packed with vitamins and antioxidants. But here's the catch: for many of us over 65, these vegetables are also rich in complex sugars, particularly raffinose and sulfur-containing compounds. While wonderful for our younger selves, our digestive systems, as they age, often become a little less efficient at breaking down these intricate structures. This can lead to some rather uncomfortable consequences, like significant gas, bloating, and general abdominal discomfort. Imagine having a lovely steamed broccoli side with your dinner, only to feel incredibly full and gassy an hour later, almost as if a balloon has inflated in your stomach. It's not that the broccoli is inherently bad. It's just that your body might be working overtime, and perhaps struggling to process those specific compounds. Our natural production of digestive enzymes, which are like tiny scissors breaking down our food, can diminish over time. This makes the job of digesting these robust vegetables much harder, leaving more undigested matter to ferment in our gut, which is the primary cause of that uncomfortable gas. It's a common complaint I hear from many wonderful people striving to eat healthily. So, what can you do? It's not about cutting them out entirely if you love them, but being mindful. One key actionable step is to cook them thoroughly. Steaming, roasting, or even boiling can help to break down some of those difficult-to-digest compounds, making them much gentler on your system. You might also try starting with smaller portions, perhaps just a few florets of broccoli, and see how your body responds before gradually increasing the amount. Some people even find that fermented versions, like sauerkraut or kimchi, in small amounts, can be more tolerable because the fermentation process has already done some of the breaking down. The key is to listen very closely to your body's unique signals. If you consistently feel bloated or gassy after eating these, it's a clear sign your digestive system is telling you it's struggling. Now, let's turn our attention to another group of otherwise healthy vegetables that, for a specific subset of our over 65 population, can pose a genuine concern: vegetables high in oxalates. We're primarily looking at spinach, rhubarb, beets, and Swiss chard. These vibrant foods are packed with nutrients, but they also contain compounds called oxalates or oxalic acid. For most people, oxalates are processed and excreted by the body without issue. However, for individuals who are prone to kidney stones, or who have a history of them, oxalates can be a significant contributing factor Oxalates have a tendency to bind with minerals like calcium in the body, forming crystals that can then accumulate in the kidneys and contribute to the formation of painful kidney stones. Imagine you've been diligently making a large green smoothie every morning, packed to the brim with raw spinach, thinking you're doing something incredibly healthy. And you are, in many ways. But if you're someone who has previously suffered the excruciating pain of a kidney stone, or if you have a family history of them, that daily spinach smoothie could, unknowingly, be contributing to a recurrence. It's not that spinach or beets are bad vegetables. It's about understanding your personal susceptibility and health history. A gentleman I once spoke with, a lovely man in his late 70s, had suffered from recurrent kidney stones for years. He was meticulous about his diet, eating what he believed was perfectly healthy, including large amounts of raw spinach in salads and smoothies. It wasn't until he discussed his diet with his doctor, who pointed out the oxalate connection, that he began to understand the potential link. The actionable steps here are quite simple, but can be profoundly effective. If you are prone to kidney stones or have kidney issues, it's worth discussing this with your doctor or a dietitian. They might suggest cooking these vegetables thoroughly, as boiling can help reduce oxalate content. Another strategy is to balance your oxalate-rich foods with calcium-rich foods in the same meal, as calcium can bind with oxalates in the gut before they are absorbed, preventing them from reaching the kidneys. And always ensure you're drinking plenty of water throughout the day. As hydration is crucial for kidney health, you don't necessarily need to eliminate these entirely, but being mindful of your intake, especially if you have a history of kidney stones, and rotating your greens so you're not always consuming the same high oxalate options, can make a meaningful difference. Now that we've discussed the powerful cruciferous vegetables and the potential oxalate concerns, let's move on to another group that might truly surprise you. Moving on from those powerful greens that can sometimes be tricky for our digestive systems, let's talk about another group of vegetables that might raise an eyebrow for some of you, particularly if you've been grappling with persistent aches and stiffness. I'm referring to the nightshade vegetables, tomatoes, potatoes, bell peppers, and eggplant. Now, these are beloved staples in kitchens around the world, celebrated for their flavor and nutritional content, and for the vast majority of people. They are perfectly healthy and pose no issues whatsoever. However, for a segment of the population, particularly those who struggle with inflammatory conditions like arthritis or certain autoimmune conditions, there's an anecdotal link to increased discomfort or joint pain after consuming nightshades. They contain natural compounds called alkaloids, such as solanine in potatoes and tomatine in tomatoes. While scientific research doesn't universally prove a direct link for everyone, countless individuals report feeling better when they reduce or eliminate nightshades from their diet, only to have their symptoms return when they reintroduce them. It's truly fascinating how unique our bodies are and how they respond to different foods. I've heard many stories from wonderful seniors who, after years of inexplicable joint stiffness, felt significant relief simply by taking a break from their beloved tomatoes or potatoes for a few weeks. It's not about demonizing these delicious vegetables. Rather, it's about tuning into your own body's unique signals. So, what can you do if you suspect nightshades might be contributing to your discomfort? The most effective approach is a simple trial elimination. Try removing all nightshade vegetables from your diet for 2 to 4 weeks. Pay very close attention to how your body feels during this period. Do your joints feel less stiff? Is there a reduction in general aches? If you notice an improvement, then gradually reintroduce one nightshade vegetable at a time, in small quantities, and observe your body's reaction over a few days. This careful reintroduction can help you pinpoint if a specific nightshade is causing an issue, or if the entire group is a trigger for you. If you don't notice any difference during the elimination or reintroduction, then it's likely these vegetables are perfectly fine for you to enjoy. Cooking nightshades thoroughly, especially potatoes, can also slightly reduce their alkaloid content, making them potentially more tolerable for some. Next, let's talk about a familiar and often comforting presence on our plates: corn. We're not talking about highly processed corn products like high fructose corn syrup, which are certainly something to limit, but rather fresh corn on the cob, canned corn, or corn kernels in dishes. While sweet and appealing, corn presents a unique challenge for digestion, especially as we age. The primary issue lies in the outer hull of the corn kernel, which is largely made of cellulose. Our bodies, including our digestive systems, lack the specific enzymes needed to fully break down cellulose. This means that the outer layer of corn often passes through our digestive tract largely undigested. For some seniors, this can lead to uncomfortable symptoms like gas, bloating, and sometimes even cramping. You might have noticed, quite literally, corn kernels passing through your system undigested, which is a clear sign that your body struggled to process them. How many times have we been told corn is a healthy vegetable, full of sunshine and sweetness? Yet, for many, that seemingly innocent corn on the cob can lead to feelings of indigestion or uncomfortable fullness. It's a reminder that even the simplest foods can have a surprising impact on our mature digestive systems. So, what can you do to still enjoy corn if you love it? Without the discomfort, the most important actionable step is to chew your corn very, very thoroughly. The more you break down that tough outer hull mechanically in your mouth, the less work your digestive system has to do. Opting for fresh corn in season rather than highly processed or canned versions can also be beneficial, as fresh produce generally retains more of its natural enzymes. If you find corn consistently causes digestive issues, even with thorough chewing, you might consider reducing your intake or enjoying it in smaller, well-cooked portions. Listen to your gut. If it consistently sends you signals of distress after eating corn, it might be a vegetable to enjoy sparingly. Finally, let's consider a category that often surprises people because it flies in the face of what we've been taught about healthy eating raw: fibrous vegetables, especially when consumed in large quantities. Think of those massive, beautiful salads loaded with raw kale, crunchy raw carrots, celery sticks, or big handfuls of spinach. While raw vegetables are undeniably packed with enzymes and vitamins, for seniors, particularly those with dental issues, reduced chewing ability, or generally slower digestion, large quantities of tough raw vegetables can be genuinely difficult to break down. If these tough fibers aren't thoroughly chewed and broken down in the mouth, your stomach and intestines have to work much harder. This can lead to digestive discomfort, increased gas, and, ironically, even nutrient malabsorption because the nutrients trapped within those tough fibers aren't properly released for your body to absorb. There's also a subtle, often overlooked, choking risk if large chunks of raw, fibrous vegetables aren't chewed completely. You see those vibrant, massive salads at the deli and think, this is health on a plate. But for many of us over 65, that raw fiber, while wonderful in theory, can be a real challenge for our digestive system, leading to more discomfort than benefit. So, what's the smart way to enjoy these incredibly healthy foods? The key is preparation. Instead of consuming large quantities of raw, tough greens or root vegetables, try steaming them lightly, gently sautéing them, or roasting them until they are tender. This predigests some of the tough fibers, making them much easier for your body to process and absorb the nutrients. You might also consider blending them into smoothies. But even then, be mindful of the total fiber content and introduce them slowly. Cutting vegetables into smaller, more manageable pieces can also make a big difference. The bottom line is to listen to your gut. If raw makes you uncomfortable, don't force it. A gentle steam or a light sauté often makes all the difference, allowing you to reap all the nutritional benefits without the digestive struggle. We've covered quite a few surprising culprits already, but there are still two more that deserve our attention before we wrap up our discussion. We've uncovered some truly surprising insights so far, and now we'll address two more vegetables that, while healthy for many, can be quite challenging for sensitive digestive systems, particularly as we age. The first is the humble pea, and by extension, certain other legumes that often masquerade as vegetables. It's easy to think of peas as innocent little green powerhouses, bursting with vitamins and protein, and they are. But for a surprising number of people, especially as our digestive systems mature, those seemingly harmless peas can trigger a symphony of gurgles, bloating, and general discomfort. The reason lies in their specific carbohydrate content, particularly certain types of fermentable carbohydrates known as FODMAPs. These compounds, while not inherently bad, can ferment rapidly in the gut of sensitive individuals, leading to excessive gas production and that uncomfortable bloated feeling. If you've ever had a side of peas and felt unusually gassy or full afterwards, you're not alone. It's a testament to how finely tuned our digestive systems become with age, and how certain carbohydrates can cause a stir. So, what's the best approach if peas give you trouble? Similar to other challenging vegetables, thorough cooking is key. Boiling or steaming peas until they are very tender can help break down some of these fermentable compounds. You might also find that portion control is crucial. A very small serving might be tolerable, whereas a large one could trigger symptoms. If you consistently experience discomfort after eating peas, it might be a sign that your system struggles with them. It's not about avoiding them forever, if you love them, but rather being mindful of the quantity and preparation, and most importantly, how your unique body responds. Finally, let's talk about two elegant and often celebratory vegetables: artichokes and asparagus. These are often seen as gourmet additions to a healthy plate, full of fiber and unique nutrients. However, like peas, they are notably high in specific types of FODMAPs, particularly fructans. For individuals with sensitive guts, and especially those diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome or general digestive sensitivity that can increase with age, consuming artichokes or asparagus can lead to significant digestive distress. We're talking about pronounced gas, bloating, and even abdominal pain. Who doesn't love the elegant taste of a perfectly steamed artichoke or the crisp snap of fresh asparagus? Yet, for some, these delightful vegetables carry a hidden secret. They contain special fibers that, while healthy, can lead to a very uncomfortable digestive rebellion, causing bloating and gas that can really put a damper on your day. It's all about understanding what works for your unique system. If you find yourself consistently feeling uncomfortable, bloated, or gassy after enjoying these vegetables, it's worth considering if they are a trigger for you. You don't have to eliminate them entirely if you adore them. Sometimes, a smaller portion or a different preparation method can make them more tolerable. But recognizing the potential link between these foods and your symptoms is the first step toward greater digestive comfort. So, we've explored 7 common vegetables, from the family of cabbages, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts, to nutrient-packed spinach and vibrant tomatoes, the humble corn, crunchy raw vegetables, and even peas, artichokes, and asparagus. The key takeaway here isn't that these are bad foods, or that you must stop eating them forever. Not at all in their essence. They are full of vitamins, minerals, and beneficial compounds. The secret, the truly surprising truth I mentioned at the beginning of our conversation, is that our bodies, after 65, often react differently to them than they did in our younger years. It's about personal sensitivity, the natural changes in our digestive processes, and sometimes specific underlying health conditions like kidney issues or inflammatory tendencies. Your body has been working hard for over 6 decades, and its needs subtly shift. Remember, the goal here isn't to create fear around food or to make your mealtimes complicated, but to empower you with knowledge and understanding. Small, mindful adjustments to how you prepare and consume these vegetables, or simply being more aware of your body's unique signals, can make a monumental difference in your daily comfort, energy levels, and overall well-being. You absolutely deserve to feel fantastic, vibrant, and free from unnecessary discomfort as you continue to embrace life to the fullest. I truly hope this conversation has given you some valuable food for thought. Have you experienced any of these digestive or comfort issues with these specific vegetables? Or perhaps you found a clever way to prepare them that makes them more tolerable for you. Please, share your insights, your experiences, and your wisdom in the comments below. Your perspective helps our entire community learn and grow together. If you found this video helpful, if it sparked a new understanding, or simply resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more wonderful people just like you who are looking to live their best lives. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more practical advice, gentle guidance, and inspiring conversations for living your most vibrant life at every age. You have so much life to live, so much joy to experience. and so much wisdom to share. By simply being a little more mindful about what you put on your plate, you can unlock incredible levels of comfort, energy, and vitality. Here's to nourishing your body wisely, listening to its wisdom, and embracing every moment with health, happiness, and unbounded energy.